What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something just a little bit experimental. So I have this book from when I was a kid called the FM 2176 Department of the Army Field Manual, a survival guide, and it's from October of 1970. It's from the Department of the Army. I got this when I was a kid for whatever reason, and it just has all of this really cool like survival stuff in it. And I thought, I've kind of been in this. I've been craving like a survival themed solo RPG experience. Let me know in the comments down below your favorite survival themed solo RPG experience. But I figured I would go ahead and take this manual and see if I can't just make one for myself and go ahead and have a good time. So I'm going to use this, and the only other things I'm going to use are my Game Master's Apprentice deck, the Tricube Tales system for handling character and roles and things like that. I've got this other little sheet to go with to roll for events that might happen. And between this and some additional tokens, I'm going to try and have a cool little survival experience. So let me get everything out here and we can go over. I've tested this out a little bit and we can go over how this goes. All right, everybody. So here is how this is going to work. We are going to, here's a little background about where we are. We're shipwrecked. It's the late 1800s, and our goal is going to be a la the Robinson Crusoe board game. Our goal is to build a signal fire within 13 days. Now, the gameplay is cut up into days. We have our daytime phase and our nighttime phase, and the way that those work is we can undergo 2 activities during the daytime, and an activity may be a single action, like a single dice roll action, or it might be a series of related actions, but sort of like a loosely conglomerated set of activity and set of actions revolving around that activity. And between those two, an event is going to happen, and that's where we're going to roll on our little tag symbol sheet here. Now we're using the 2nd edition Game Master's Apprentice cards, so we don't actually have the symbols, but there are 10. So we'll just roll a d10 to find out sort of what the event is, and then we'll ask even odds, yes or no, whether the event is a positive event or a negative event, right? And so we'll be using that between the 2 activities that we do during the day, as well as between the 2 activities that we do during the night. And at the end of each day, we have to have filled in a food and 2 food and 2 water. And if we don't fill in a food or a water, what happens is we get a starvation token. And every time for every empty box that exists of these 4 at the end of a day, we get 1 starvation token. And eventually we'll receive 6. And once we have 6, any blank boxes will result in a single loss of resolve. Okay, so even if we have 4 empty boxes, it's just going to be 1 resolve gone. However, if we have 4 empty boxes, we will gain 4 starvation for that day. So if that makes sense. And the way that we're going to incorporate this manual is there are actually about 100 sections inside of this manual. And so we can have things happen by rolling randomly on all those sections. We can find resolutions to things we do, like if we search for stuff, we might roll a D100 and flip to that section and it'll reveal what we found. Like if it finds, there's like a travel section that talks about rivers, maybe we'll find a river, which can be useful for travel as well as for food. Or maybe it goes to the edible plants section. That means we found an edible plant. So if we take an action that's sort of like, could have broad outcomes, we can search this section. If we take a more specific action, then we can roll on a specific set of paragraphs or sections. I'm calling them sections, but they're actually paragraphs. So for instance, the food section has 10 paragraphs roughly. So we could, if we were going foraging for food, we can roll a d10, right? And go to that specific section and it'll give us a sense of what we found. And that's if we roll a successful challenge beforehand, okay? Of course, so if we go foraging and we roll a failed die roll, then we don't search, we don't find out what we found. But we're going to kind of use this to sort of guide what we find and how we do it and all of that stuff, what supplies we need to achieve a certain thing. And that's how that's going to go. Our character over here is Sean. He is a crafty royal agent. So he was sailing the high seas when shipwreck occurred, and he's now on this island. He has the perk of a strong immune system, and he has the quirk of bad eyesight. And this is a character that I came up with by drawing on our Game Master's Apprentice cards as well. So anyway, that's the long and short of it. I have other tokens and stuff that we'll use if they become necessary, like if we have surplus food, if we're building a shelter and that sort of thing. But otherwise, it's going to be each day looks like this, and we keep a log of the events that happen, and I think we should just get started. So day one, we wash up on shore and we wake up. And I'm going to go ahead and say that there's remnants of the wreckage all around the shore. And so we are going to search the wreckage for anything useful, anything at all. We are a crafty character, so I feel like this is going to take 3 dice, and we will figure out the difficulty by drawing a card. It's a 4, which is average. And again, to refresh your memory, 1 through 3 is easy. 4, 5, 6, and 7 is average. 8, 9, and 10 is a hard challenge. So that's how that works. Anyway, we're rolling for a 5 or a 6 to successfully find something in this wreckage. Okay, we did roll a 6, so that's good. So we found something. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to roll a D100 and see where it takes us in the manual to give us a sense of what we found. So 26. Let's go to 26. Paragraph 26. Let's see where that's at. Water. Oh, no, it's in the water section. Okay, so page 48. So that's good. Maybe we found some fresh water. 48, section 26. Finding water. What can you drink? Okay. When you find no surface water, tap through the earth. All right, so there's some subsections here, so maybe we'll roll on to these subsections. Okay, let's see. Let's read through this. When you find no surface water, tap through the earth's water table for groundwater, rain, or melted snow that has sunk into the ground. Access to this table and its supply of generally pure water depends upon the contour of the land and the character of the soil. All right, we've got rocky soil and we've got loose soil. Look for springs and seepage. Because lava rock is porous, it's a good source for seeping groundwater. Okay, so I think what we need to do is determine the soil first of all. So even is going to be rocky soil. So odd is going to be rocky soil, even is going to be loose soil. Okay, so we have loose soil, and then there are 3 subsections within loose soil. So let's go ahead and roll 1, 2 for A, 3, 4 for B, 5, 6 for C. So we're in B. If you decide to dig for water, first look for signs that it is present. Dig in the floor of a valley under a steep slope, or dig out a green spot where a spring was during the wet season. In low forests, along seashores, and in river plains, the water table is close to the surface. Very little digging usually yields a good supply of water. Okay, so we found somewhere where we can tap into the water table. So it wasn't exactly part of the wreckage, right? But while we were searching the wreckage, we did find a spot, maybe a sort of like within a little valley or something, where we can actually reach the water table and potentially get fresh water. Because like it says on the seashore, the water table is close to the surface. Okay, so we found some water. And I think we're going to go ahead and take the opportunity to drink some water, because we do need to fill up 2 water. We don't have any means of collecting it, at least not yet. So let's go ahead and roll. I'm going to say that this is a 2 dice challenge, and the difficulty is average. So we need a 5 or a 6. We roll a 1 and a 3. Okay. So I think what this says is we drink the water, and it's not good. It's briny. So let's see. Do we get sick from the water? I'm going to say even odds. Yes. Okay. So we got sick from drinking this briny water. And how do we handle this? Let's say that it dehydrates us and adds another need to receive hydration. Now, what we could do, that I think takes up our search. And is there more wreckage to search? I'm gonna say even odds. Yes, okay. All right, so let's go ahead and roll on an event to happen between our actions. 3, sickness. Okay, so that's just negative in general, right? Let's see. Sickness, is there a section in here? Hazards to survival. 90, 95 is 246. All right, so we've got 5 sections in here. Actually 6, because 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. Okay, so we've got 6 sections in here. So let's go ahead and roll a d6 to find out which section we're going to. That's going to be 91, which is the smaller forms of life section. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. So a d12. And roll a d12. And we got 7. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We gotta go to section G. G, spiders. Ooh, great. All right. Spiders, except for the black widow or hourglass spider of the southern United States, spiders in general are not particularly dangerous. Even the tarantula is not known to bite with fatal or even serious effects. The black widow, however, along with tropical members of the same family, should be avoided as their bites cause severe pain and swelling and even death. All of these spiders are dark and marked with white, yellow, or red spots. Acute abdominal cramps may follow the bite of one of these spiders and may continue intermittently for a day or 2. It is possible to mistake the pain for acute indigestion and even appendicitis. All right, so did we get bit by a bad spider? I'm going to say because this is a bad event, the odds are good. So I'm asking if we got bit by one of these more dangerous spiders. Did we get bit by a more dangerous spiders? Good odds. No? Question mark? Okay, so we don't know what it is, but it did bite us. Okay, so we got to keep track here. All right, so I guess we'll kind of ask about symptoms after each sort of next section that we undertake. And I think because we did find that there are still materials around that could be foraged, potentially for resources, we're going to continue our search. What's the difficulty now? Still average. We need a 5 or a 6. We're searching combing the beach some more. Oh, we rolled 3 4s. Oh, man. Oh, so close. I don't think so. Okay, so we don't find anything this time. And that brings us to nighttime. And we have bad eyesight. Whew, do we just keep searching? I think he's going to continue searching into nighttime. Because of bad eyesight, he gets to only roll 2 dice, and he needs to roll 6s. It's hard. It's a hard challenge. He's going to still take a look at some of the big chunks of ship and see if there's anything in there. Nothing. All right. So he fails to search twice, and now we have an event transpire. 3, which is sickness again. Okay, so I think this is telling us that our spider bite. So let's keep note here. Searched. Let's see. Pain and swelling and even death. Severe pain and swelling. So are we feeling severe pain and swelling? I'm going to say good odds. Yes, okay. All right, severe pain and swelling. Spider bite? Question mark? All right, maybe our spider bite, our severe pain and swelling is too severe to continue on, so maybe we just rest. I'm going to ask, good odds, by resting, are we able to overcome our spider bite? Yes, okay. So we spent the night resting. We are missing 5. So we're getting close to being in dire straits here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, if we reach 6, that means the next one is going to take a resolve. All right, so that brings us to day 2. And our first action should be to explore the area. We're just going to explore sort of like the immediate area, see if we can find any fresh water, any food. We'll go ahead and use crafty and spend our time doing that. And the difficulty today is 7, which is still average. We need a 5 or a 6. All right, we got a 6. Okay, so that is a success, and we'll go ahead and roll a D100 to see what we find. 73 is going to be paragraph in desert areas. So page 222, 73. Water is the most important factor in desert survival, carrying all you can, even if you have to leave something else behind. When you decide to travel, and then it goes over a bunch of different things, and A and B. Okay, so first let's roll on the two sections within paragraph 73. So we're going to roll even is A, or sorry, odd is A, even is B. So A, this is the section about water, and there are 10 subsections, or 9, so let's roll a d10. If we roll a 10, we'll just re-roll. 5. Okay, 5 here is dress properly to protect yourself against direct sunlight and excessive evaporation of sweat. If you do not have sunglasses, make slit goggles. Remember that clothing is necessary for warmth on the desert because cool nights are common. Okay, so this is telling me that we find some sort of clothing or protection, which is good in case the sun beats down on us. So let's keep a little log here of our inventory. Did we have clothes on when we came here? I'm going to say good odds, yes. Yes, question mark? Okay, so they're probably tattered and torn. So we have tattered clothes, but we were able to find foraged garment. Some sort of foraged garment that can provide us with protection. Right, so that's pretty useful, right? What we really need is some food. So now we're going to have an event happen. One, which is shelter. Is this positive, even odds? Yes, question mark? Okay. Well, let's roll on the shelter section. Shelter, there we are. Okay, so we've got A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. So a D4, A. Section A is cold can kill you. You cannot expect to survive winter cold unless you have some sort of protection. During the summer, however, you may need shelter only as protection against insects and the sun. Suitable natural shelter may be available in caves, rocks, overhangings, crevices, bushy clumps, or natural terraces. Did we find a cave? Say, even odds. No, question mark? Okay, so we have some sort of natural form though, right? It's not a cave, but it could be an overhang or bushy clumps or some sort of natural terrace. Okay, so we'll say that it's that. It's some sort of like rocky overhang area that's sort of like half shelter. But we did say, is this good? It was yes, but. So we have to figure out what the but is about this shelter. And so let's say yes, but it's not like perfect. So we found partial shelter. All right, so that was our event. Now our action, I want to forage specifically for food. So we need let's see the difficulty today. 4, so 5 or 6. We got a 6. So we did find some food. So we're going to go to the food section, which has 10 paragraphs. So let's roll this. 7. So we go to 37, which is on 122 is where that starts. Over 37. Here we go. Foods from fresh water. Okay, so we might have found fresh water. So we have A. A is fish. B is frogs and newts. C is mollusks. D is crustaceans. And is that it? Yes, so we need a D4. 2. And that's going to be the frogs and... frogs, newts, and salamanders, which itself has 2 subsections. So 1 is odd and 2 is even. So 2. Newts and salamanders are found under rotten logs or under rocks in areas where frogs are abundant. Okay, so if we read about frogs real quick, let's read the full section description. So these small amphibious animals inhabit areas surrounding fresh water in warm and temperate climates throughout the world. Okay, so we're near fresh water, which is good. And we found some newts. Okay, so we're not keeping track here. And let's see. Difficulty of catching this thing, it's easy peasy. All right, so we'll go ahead and roll for a 4, 5, or 6. We got a 6. All right, so we caught a newt. It doesn't tell us how to eat them, so I assume we just try eating them raw. And so let's go ahead and eat it. Caught and ate. So did we spot the exact location of the fresh water? I'm going to say good odds. Yes, okay. So we found a newt and caught it, and we found fresh water. Let's drink it. I think we should roll on the newt that we ate. I'm going to say for the newt, let's get a difficulty of this even. So we need a 5 or a 6, and I say we're rolling 2 dice. We got a 5. Okay, so we eat the newt, no problem. Let's drink the water. Again, rolling 2 dice. We need a 5 or a 6. We got a 5. So the water was good. And let's drink it again. We got 2 4s. So I'm going to use my strong immune system and use up a karma to turn that into a success. And it's a critical success. Did we find a frog? I'm going to say good, or a frog or a salamander. I'm going to say good odds. Or let's say, did I find food? Good odds. Yes. Okay. And can we go ahead and eat this? Let's first see if we can catch it. I'm going to roll with my bad eyesight because it's getting late. 7, so that's average difficulty. We need a 5 or a 6 to catch whatever food it is we found. We got a 5. All right, so we found fresh water, drinkable, and ate it. And the eating of it, we used our quirk, so we get that back. And the eating of it, we need a 5 or a 6, I believe. Let's double check. Yeah, 5 or 6 to not get sick eating this. Got a 4. Let's use our strong immune system up again and turn that into a success. And we have eaten full food before the sun was even down. That's good. That's good. All right, so we are now near freshwater, and it's set in here for frogs. Frogs at night, hunt frogs at night when you can locate them by their croaking. So maybe we'll see if there's some frogs near this fresh water that we found, right? That's what we can do during the night. So let's see, can we hear frogs croaking? I'm gonna say good odds. Yes, exclamation mark. Okay, so we hear lots and lots of frogs croaking. Let's wrap up this day and then we'll call this session good. We are going to roll. We have bad eyesight as our quirk, so we're going to roll with just 2 dice, and we are going to hunt for some frogs. How difficult is it tonight? 8, so we need a 6. We got a 4 and a 5, and so that is a fail. So we hear frogs, and let's put a little line here that says night. Hear frogs, unable to catch. Now an event happens. 4, which is hostile creature. Oh no. Oh god. All right. All right. So there's no specific section in here about sort of larger animals that could be hostile, because generally things like your snakes and your lizards and your bugs aren't out to attack you. Like a snake will attack you if you step on it. It'll bite you potentially. But a hostile animal makes me think of, let's ask the Oracle, is this bigger than a fox? I'm going to say even odds. No question mark? Okay, so no, but. All right, so we have some small form of creature that is hostile to us. Let's see. Do we hear it coming? I'm going to say even odds. Do we notice it? Even odds. Yes. Okay. All right. So it doesn't get the jump on us, but we do notice a hostile animal that we're going to have to grapple with. And let's go ahead and roll. How difficult is this animal encounter? 6. So average. So we need a 5 or a 6 to defeat this small animal, or at least avoid being hit by it. Does it have effort more than 1? I'm going to say even odds. No, this creature. Oh, we got a 5 and a 6. Okay. So not only do we defeat this creature, we'll say that it's some sort of like raccoon-like nighttime foraging creature. that attacks us. Weasel. I'm going to go with a big weasel. Big weasel. Weasel, is it EL? Attacks. We kill it. Kill and save corpse. Alright, so not only are we able to kill it, but now we have the corpse of this creature, which will be worth 2 food, but it does have to be field dressed and everything. But that was our event. And now we get to pick what we're going to do throughout the night. We don't have fire, we can't see anything, but we can continue to hunt frogs, which could be a good idea, right? Or maybe we could rest. I'm going to say we continue to hunt frogs. And we only get to use 2 dice because we have bad eyesight, but we can hear them, and that's what's important. So we need, a difficulty here is 8, so we need a 6. Okay, so we fail to catch any frogs. All right, and so that ends that. We are fully fed tonight, so we'll say that takes away the amount that are filled if we are fully filled up. What do you think? What do you guys think? I think that's fair, right? We can take away 4 each night, basically. All right, and that would bring us on to day 3, but I think we'll go ahead and end this here. What did you guys think of this? I think this is actually pretty cool. It's maybe a little rough around some of the edges. Maybe need some additional materials for like when wild animals attack or something to match some of these events that I have here. Maybe even like a weather sec, because I have weather here. You know, there's a few different places like mental state that this might not be useful to sort of elaborate on. So it might be useful to have a few extra lists, or maybe I could just remove some of that stuff and have it all base this list off of what's in here. That might be a better idea. But yeah, for now, I think this was pretty fun. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.